Reinforcements have arrived.
Yes, sir. Ready and waiting. Once.
Yes, sir. For king and country.
Training.
On my way. For king and country. On my way. For king and country. On my way. Indeed. Indeed. Yes, sir.
Indeed. Report. Agreed. Affirmative. Ready and waiting. At once. Agreed. Very well.
Unit ready.
Agreed.
Training.
Agreed. At once. Very well. Very well. Very well. Very well.
Unit
agreed.
ready. Training.
Reporting.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Commander. Yes, sir. Indeed. Yes, sir. For king and country. On my way. Indeed. For king and country. On my way.
Unit ready.
On my way.
Training.
On my way. On my way. Indeed. For king and country. On my way. On my way. For king and country. For king and country. For king and country.
Unit ready. Training.
Indeed. On my way. On my way. On my way. On my way. Indeed. For king and country. For king and country. Indeed. Indeed. For king and country.
Funds.
Indeed.
Unit
Indeed.
ready.
Yes, sir. Indeed. Yes, sir. For king and country. Indeed. On my way. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On my way.
Building infiltration.
Yes, sir. Agreed. At once. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Building
Waiting.
infiltration.
Agreed. Very well. Very well. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Indeed. Indeed. Commander. Indeed. Commander. Indeed.
Building
Yes, sir.
infiltration.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. On my way. Yes, sir. On my way.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Commander. Indeed.
Building infiltration.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Indeed. Indeed.
Building infiltration.
Affirmative. Agreed.
Commander. On my way. For king and country.
Building infiltration.
Ready and waiting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Medic reporting. Moving out.
Yes, sir. On my way.
Awaiting orders. Medic reporting. Affirmative. Reporting. Yes, sir. At once. At once. At once. Affirmative. At once. Affirmative. Medic reporting. Moving out. Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Yes, sir. At once. Yes, sir. Agreed. Affirmative.
Huh? I hear you.
Yes, sir.
Your thing, boss.
Indeed.
Reporting. Medic reporting. Moving out.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Moving out. Affirmative. Moving out. Affirmative. Reporting. Medic reporting. Reporting. Agreed. Agreed. Affirmative. Agreed. Affirmative. Affirmative. Of course. Affirmative. Agreed. 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 At once. Agreed. Agreed. At once. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Moving out. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Agreed. Medic reporting.
Yes, sir. On my way.
Howdy? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. On my way.
Medic affirmative. 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 Moving out. Yes, sir. Agreed.
Building infiltrator. Reinforcements have arrived.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Moving out. Affirmative.
Comrade. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. At once.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Agreed. Affirmative. At once.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Waiting orders.
Yes, sir.
Reporting. Of course.
Comrade. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
First objective
Yes,
met.
sir. Acknowledged.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
I'm in my range.
Acknowledged.
Comrade.
Reporting and waiting. Affirmative. At once. Very well. Affirmative. Of course. Of course. Of course. Very well. Yes, sir. Very well. Medic reporting. Moving out.
Unit
Reporting.
lost.
Of course. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Medic reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative.
Awaiting orders.
Yes, affirmative. Acknowledged.
Reporting. Affirmative. At once. Affirmative. Yes, sir. At once.
Commander. Indeed. For king and country.
Acknowledged. Waiting order. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Waiting order. Affirmative. Negative. Yes, sir. Comrade, acknowledged. Waiting order. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Waiting order. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged.
Training.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. At once. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Waiting order.
Unit ready.
Yes,
Training.
sir.
For king and country.
Reporting. Very well. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Comrade. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Training.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
I hear you. Yes, sir.
Building infiltrated.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Indeed. For king and
Training.
country.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Comrade. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Indeed.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Commander.
Indeed.
Insufficient funds.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit
Comrade.
ready.
Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Reporting.
Building
Affirmative. Well.
infiltrated.
Waiting order. Waiting order. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
I'll get my range.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Medic reporting.
Commander. On my way. Yes, sir. For king and country.
Yes, sir. Very well. Yes, sir. Agreed.
Comrade, acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir.
Building
Waiting orders.
infiltrated.
Agreed. Affirmative. Agreed.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Comrade.
Commander. For king and country.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. At once. Agreed.
Commander. On my way.
Report. Agreed. Affirmative.
Howdy.
Reporting. At once.
Commander.
Yes, sir. Agreed. Very well. Affirmative.
Commander,
Building
on my way.
infiltrated.
On my way.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Indeed.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Building infiltrated.
Awaiting orders. At once. Affirmative.
Comrade.
Ready and waiting.
Building
At once.
infiltrated.
Awaiting
Affirmative.
orders. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Vehicle report. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Yes, affirmative. Comrade.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Waiting order.
I'll get my range. Oh, diggity. Oh.
Waiting order. Affirmative.
Reporting.
Comrade. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Comrade. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Report. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Howdy. I hear you.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Comrade. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Awaiting
Acknowledged.
orders. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ready and waiting.
Affirmative.
Reporting.
Yes, sir.
Oh, diggity.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Howdy. I'll get my range.
Yes, sir.
Vehicle
Yes,
reporting.
sir.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Oh, sir. diggity.
Comrade. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Howdy. Oh, diggity.
Comrade.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Vehicle
Acknowledged.
reporting. Affirmative.
Howdy. Oh, diggity.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative.
Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Comrade. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Ready and waiting. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Second objective.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Comrade.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Howdy. I'll get my range.
Yes, sir.
Howdy. Oh, diggity.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Acknowledged.
Affirmative.
Waiting order. Acknowledged. 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 Comrade. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Lord,
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Waiting order. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Acknowledged.
Unit
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Reporting. Agreed. Affirmative.
Waiting order. Reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Indeed.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Comrade.
Reporting. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Of course. Yes, sir. At once. Yes, sir. Of course. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Agreed. Affirmative. Ready and wait. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. At once. Affirmative. Agreed. Yes, sir. Very well.
Third objective met.
At once.
Acknowledged.
Soviet forces approaching.
Affirmative.
Soviet forces approaching.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative. Moving out. Moving out.
Soviet forces approaching.
Yes, sir. Agreed. Affirmative. Affirmative. Agreed. Affirmative. Agreed. Affirmative. At once. Affirmative. Very well. Agreed. Very well.
Training. Mission accomplished.